SolidTales, History Uncovered. Welcome back to SolidTales, History Uncovered. This is the most debated hypothetical battle in all of World War II. What if the German infantry divisions that blitzed across Europe collided head-on with the Imperial Japanese Army's elite Class A divisions, the undisputed masters of the Asian battlefield? At the dawn of the 1940s, the German Wehrmacht was the most feared land force on the planet. Their revolutionary blitzkrieg doctrine, perfect synchronization of tanks, air power, and rapid infantry, crushed entire nations in weeks. When Operation Barbarossa launched, the initial German advance inflicted millions of casualties on the Soviet Red Army, a scale of destruction that still shocks historians today. Half a world away, the Japanese Class A division was no less formidable. Built from the ground up for large-scale conquest, these elite units had carved a brutal empire across East and Southeast Asia. They were ruthless, disciplined, and fanatically loyal. So who would win? The mechanized juggernaut of Europe, or the battle-hardened warriors of Asia? To answer this question, we're going to break down their weapons, their tactics, and the one fatal flaw that would decide the outcome. To make this a fair fight, we're pitting the 1941 Standard German Infantry Division against a full-strength Japanese Class A division, both at their peak before the brutal attrition of later war years. A German infantry division numbered about 17,200 men. But its real strength wasn't in raw numbers. It was a self-contained combined arms machine with dedicated artillery, reconnaissance, signals, anti-tank, combat engineer, and logistics units. All linked by a universal radio network, they could react to battlefield changes in seconds. The heart of this machine was the artillery regiment. 3 light battalions with 36 105mm Lee FH-18 howitzers, backed by a heavy battalion with 12 earth-shaking 150mm SFH-18 howitzers. And that was just divisional artillery. Every infantry regiment had its own heavy guns, 2 150mm SIG-33 infantry guns and 6 75mm League 18s. In 1941, putting this much firepower at the regimental level was unheard of anywhere else in the world. Now let's look at the Japanese side. A full-strength Class A division was massive, 25,000 to 28,000 men, almost the size of a Western Army Corps. They came in 2 types: draft horse divisions for plains warfare, with 48 75mm field guns, packhorse divisions for mountains and jungles, with 36 75mm mountain guns that could be broken down and carried by mules. But here's the fatal weakness. No matter which type, all their main artillery was 75mm. They had almost no 105mm or 150mm heavy howitzers. In an artillery duel, German guns would outrange, outpower, and destroy Japanese artillery positions before the Japanese could even fire back. When the artillery stops and the infantry clash, the technological gap becomes a massacre. The entire German rifle squad was built around one weapon, the MG-34 general-purpose machine gun. A single German division had over 600 of these. Belt-fed, with a cyclic rate of 900 rounds per minute, one MG-34 could pin down an entire enemy platoon. Behind this wall of lead, German assault troops carried MP-40 submachine guns, flamethrowers, and anti-tank rifles for close combat. Even without tanks, German infantry had devastating direct fire support. Their anti-tank battalions, armed with 37mm Pascal 36 and 50mm Pascal 38 guns, didn't just fight tanks. They pushed right up to the front line and blew apart machine gun nests and bunkers with pinpoint accuracy. The Japanese infantryman was at a massive disadvantage. While they also had hundreds of machine guns, their Type 11, Type 96, and Type 99 light machine guns were obsolete by European standards. Slow rate of fire, awkward top-loading hoppers, and difficult barrel changes meant they could never match the sustained suppression of the MG-34. Worse, the Japanese army barely used submachine guns. Their infantry relied almost entirely on bolt-action rifles, with knee mortars as their only real support weapon. Imagine ordering a Banzai charge, only to watch your men get cut down by interlocking MG-34 fire before they can even get within bayonet range. Weapons are important, but doctrine wins wars, and here the two armies were from different centuries. The Germans fought using Auftragstaktik, mission-type tactics. Lower-ranking officers were told what to achieve, not how to achieve it. With radios in every platoon, they could call in artillery or engineer support instantly to exploit any weakness. The Japanese fought a rigid, top-down war. Everything was planned in advance, and deviation was punished. Inter-service coordination was terrible, and they had almost no ability to adapt to changing battlefield conditions. This flaw was brutally exposed later in the war when they finally faced Western-style firepower. So what would actually happen? On open plains or rolling hills, it would be a one-sided slaughter. German reconnaissance would spot the massive Japanese formations miles away. Artillery would destroy their staging areas before the battle even began. Any massed infantry charge would be torn apart by machine guns and artillery. In jungles or mountains, the fight would be much closer. The terrain would neutralize German heavy artillery and mobility, allowing the Japanese to use their skills in infiltration, night fighting, and close combat. The Germans would take heavy casualties. But in the end, the systemic advantage was too great. German combat engineers would root out Japanese bunkers with flamethrowers and explosives. Their superior logistics and communications would keep them fighting for months. The Japanese, cut off and surrounded, would eventually collapse from starvation and casualties. This wasn't a fight between brave men and cowards. It was a fight between two eras of warfare. The Japanese Class A division was the best army World War I ever produced. The German Infantry division was the first true army of World War II. No amount of bravery or fanaticism could overcome that generational gap. But what do you think? Could the Japanese have won if they fought on their home turf? Or would the German combined arms machine have crushed them anywhere? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hard-hitting history. History Uncovered. Subscribe to SolidTales.